Right, this is a little test stream I've just got set up just now. Just to stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, see if I can get it set right this time. I'm looking at both live streams. My Twitch channel has a commercial running on it at the moment that'll disappear now. I've got two live pictures of Virtual Pool 4 on Twitch and one on YouTube. Just going to go into a room and just having a look at these guys playing. And looking at the streams, the YouTube stream is ahead of the Twitch stream, which is curious. Obviously that's basically down to where both of these companies are in relation to the Restream server. And everything seems to be working okay. The only thing that isn't working now what I'm trying to get this chat up and running on screen. It seemed to be intermittent last night, in fact not work at all until we scrapped it, so both streams are looking good. I don't see anything. That's if anybody's typed anything. I'm not seeing anything coming up in that chat window. Well, the chat window's there, but I've got nothing on there to confirm that it's working or not. It should be set up right. Yeah, I don't think that chat's working. Let me have a little look. And Twitch seems to be hung up. Well, it looks as if Twitch is coming back. It looked as if the Twitch stream had died. No, I need to just Right, we're back live. I think there may or may not be a tournament about to start, and it's a 9-ball, no handicap, race to 5, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in it, and variations in the player level. Mr. Bill would be the favourite, and that tournament should be about to go ahead, and we'll just watch 1 or 2 of the matches in it, just to see how this keeps going on Twitch and YouTube. YouTube's actually showing amber for the stream quality, although I've not had any problem with it. The one that seems to be hanging up a bit seems to be Twitch. Right, the brackets are up for the race to 5 9-ball, no handicap, and the first match there's one match in the first round, sorry. The other players have all got by, so Mr. Bill's going to be playing Xavier, and we'll go in and have a look at that match, provided both players are here. Well, Mr. Bill's in the room, and Xavier is in the chat, so it's all down to whether he's aware that his room is up, for his match is about to go ahead, and it's showing him going into the room, so we'll go in, and well, it's Mr. Bill that isn't in. We'll just duck back out. Now, where's Mr. Bill? Mr. Bill's still in that room, so he's still in his 9-ball room. He should be getting out, ready to get into that match, unless he's going to pull the plug on it. Xavier has left the room, I think. His room's showing nobody in it. In fact, he's actually left the lobby. So goodness knows what's happening here. I would think that Mr. Bill is going to finish that rack off in that challenge room that he's in and then join the tournament, but even if he does, his opponent has all of a sudden disappeared. He's gone. And now it's the other way around. Now it looks as if Bill's gone into the room, but he's now waiting his opponent, who was there a second ago when I was in the room, and now he's disappeared. Strange things are happening. Yeah, I definitely don't see him. So that room is going to time out in a minute or so. There isn't going to be very long to go before it times out, and it'd be looking very likely that Xavier's going to be the one that's going to forfeit. Well, here he's back. he's back, so he should be in the room now. Let's go in and have a look. Both players about to lag off. And yeah, the Twitch stream is lagging behind by a few seconds when I'm looking at the monitor. I'm looking at the two streams more or less side by side, and the Twitch one's the one that's got a delay on it. So Mr. Bill's won the lag, race to 5, no handicaps. Bill, the strong favourite for this match. Xavier, a 1900 level player, so he can pot a ball. The question is whether he can string enough together to win a rack or two. Let's see. Oh, he's gone way too high in the 2 ball, and he's going to have to do something. He maybe, I don't know whether he can draw off the 2 and try and nudge. Yeah, well, that's what he tried. If he'd nudged the 5, he would have been able to hold for the 3. So now he's got no shot and has to get it safe. That looks a bit heavy. Has he got the cover? Well, he's got the cover behind the pink, but Bill will jump over that, no problem. Now, as I say, this is basically just a stream test. It was more of a stream test to actually check and see if the chat was working on screen, but I don't know whether Bill got my message, but he certainly didn't type anything in the chat. But I don't know whether there's anybody else watching. I don't think there is, not at this time of day. But I can't seem to get this chat on screen on my main monitor, which is the weird thing. Anyway, Bill has jumped himself out of trouble. He's now got a thin cut in this 5 ball. And of course, with the pace that he had to cut that 5 ball to get it to the pocket, he's left himself no shot in the 6. So there might be a chance here for Xavier. Now, where does he come from? The Netherlands, is it? Yeah. And that's a good safety by Bill. Xavier is hooked in the 6, I think. Yep. I don't know whether he can get enough pace in that to jump. Well, he's scratched off the 6. So that's his chance probably gone. Ball in hand to Mr. Bill. I'm just going to have a It's showing that both the chat channels are connected, but as I say, until somebody types something, I'm not going to know whether it works or it doesn't work. So Mr. Bill up 1-0. It's a non-handicap tournament, just a small tournament with about 5 players in it. But if everything goes according to plan, Mr. Bill should win this tournament. Unless he gets himself in bother. And Xavier's the one that's getting himself in bother. Hook behind the 5. Not a difficult kick to hit the 2, but of course he just has to get lucky to get it safe. Well, the 8 ball, it's sitting there as a blocker. And Bill's played the combo. Did his best to hold for the 2. He's now got a thin cut along that rail. It's tight on the rail. And he's played that pretty good. Good pace to get nicely on that 3 ball. I think he's got a wee bit more angle than he would like though, because he's now just going to have to roll through and leave that 5 ball long. So again, checking both streams look good. They look to be running okay. Running smoothly enough. And Xavier's chance has come. Now, this looks fairly straightforward. A draw off the 7 ball, not too heavy. And he'll have a shot in the 9 into the left middle. Well, he's played it too heavy, overcooked that by quite a margin. And he's got the thin cut into the middle. And he's missed a 9, went long. Now that all stemmed from overhitting the draw on that cue ball there. He just needed to come back a few feet just to get that 9 comfortable into the middle. So that's how easy it is for players to blow their chances. And that's a golden opportunity there for Xavier to get a rack on the board. And if you can just narrow down and get that mouse dialed in to give you the confidence to play these type of shots, that little soft draw shot where you're not overcooking the draw, then it makes it a lot more easy to play comfortably those type of shots and give you better control. Another jump from Bill, and he's going to have to probably, well, is he going to play the jump or play the kick this time, because he's hooked behind the 9. Can you see some of that 3 ball? Looks as if he's lining up the jump again. And this time it's going to be another jump to the rescue. Now, can he get enough pace in this 4 ball? Well, he's going to jump over the 8, but can he get enough pace into the 4 ball to try and play the bank on the 4? That's the problem at this distance. We'll see if he can. No doubt that's what he's going to be trying. Well, he got the pace and it's gone in. That was a good shot. Just nice pace to get to the pocket. Now, this is a quick plea here from the streamer. Anybody who's watching, whether you be watching on Twitch or watching on YouTube, could you type something into the chat, please? Just to see if it will come up on screen. I've seen absolutely nothing yet. and I don't know whether it's working properly. This is a problem I've had over the last few days trying to get this Restream chat to work in XSplit Gamecaster. So Xavier's got another chance. Now here's a similar problem. It's all about controlling the pace from this 7 ball to get a shot in the 8. Now again, he's overhit it. He's just gone far too far. Now that would have been ideal if he'd controlled the pace and left it like that, where he could have potted the 8 ball, run off the rail and come out for the 9. Now he's just having to get delicate, and that's been very well played. He's controlled that excellently and sitting nicely on the 9. Needs to watch he doesn't run into that right middle pocket though. And he's played a little jab, a little stunt, and he's off the mark. So Xavier's got a rack on the board. Winner breaks it is. And he's come up dry. And one thing's for sure, Bill's going to struggle to get anything if he banks this 1. He's going to be very lucky to get any shot at all on the 2 ball, because it's up married next to the 3. And he's trying to get the cue ball down. Well, he's got a nice kiss off the 8 ball, but of course he's got no real shot here. He's just going to try and clip off the 2 and hide the cue ball, but he's hit it too heavy. But no shot for Xavier. He might try and just tuck that 2 ball behind the 3 and try and maybe get the cue ball up the table. That's not bad. That'll do nicely. Played it well. And now Bill hasn't got an angle off the right rail to get to the 2, because it's tucked behind the 3, and he's going to try and get it between the 6 and the 4. And he's played that well, but he's now opened it up. So here's another chance for Xavier. I think he's finished dead straight in the 2 though. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he's dead straight. Now he could just roll through and leave the gap between the 8 ball to roll the 3 in. Now if he does that, if he rolls the 3 up the rail, the cue ball can get to about there and he's got a shot in the 4. So he doesn't want to get too ambitious. Now that needed to nudge the 8 away. He'd probably been better just rolling to the side rail. There was plenty of room with that gap there. He didn't have to try and nudge the 8. So now he's got himself in trouble. And it's now going to be ball in hand to Bill. So Xavier's had a couple of good chances in rack number 1 and also in rack number 4, and he's sort of blown them. That's the difference between winning and losing. Got to be more clinical and work on your control of that cue ball. Now Bill's going to have to play this 6 ball long because he's dead straight in the 5, I think. Oh no, there's a slight angle there. A slight angle. Now has he gone far enough? Yes, he has. So just a little delicate roll in the 6. So Bill going to open up the gap again. It's going to go to 3 racks to 1, and it's only a short race to 5, so Xavier is going to have his work cut out. Well, here's your chance, Xavier. Ball in hand. Now, what does he do? He's going to have a smack here and try and nudge that 7 ball onto the 9. But nothing's set there. And that was a sort of shot of desperation. So, all he's really done is, when you look at the table now, he's opened everything up here for Mr. Bill. If Bill can somehow manufacture a combo with this 1 and the 6 ball. Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying there, Bill. Yeah, you get desperate when you start playing combos when there's, you know, 2 balls between the actual combo balls. You're just hitting and hoping. So Bill's played the safety, got Xavier tucked behind the 6 ball. I think he can maybe just see a wee edge of that 1, maybe. No, he can't. He's going to try and spin off the side rail in towards the 1. And of course, he hasn't hit a rail, has he? Well, he has hit a rail. 1 ball's just rested, sorry, cue ball just rested on the rail. That's not bad. Could have been worse outcomes than that. Well, see, that's never going to cause a problem to Bill. Well, he hasn't got it far enough though. Anyway, but even if he had got that 1 ball covered behind the brown, Bill could still have plenty of room to jump over it. As it is, it's wide open. Now, what's happened here? What has happened here? Bill's looking at the kick on the 2. And he's played at a nice pace. The 3 ball, however, isn't going anywhere, so I would expect a decent safety just to try and cover the 3. He hasn't managed to do it. It's managed to find a gap between the 7 and the 9. Well, there's an easy safety here for Xavier. He can cut that 3 to the right gently and just tuck in behind the 5 and the 9 with the cue ball off the side rail. That's what he's tried. He needed to get really tight onto that 5 to make it difficult for Bill. He can spin round the 5 and hit the 3, no problem. Well, here's a chance to pot the 3 for Xavier, but look at where the 5 ball is. 5 ball stuck against the 9. But it's still a good opportunity for a decent safety. Well, he's went for the draw in the split, and that is absolutely perfect. Shot of the match so far, it's worked out perfect for him. Can he make the most of it though? 3-1 down. He needs to... Oh, what's he done here? Is he drawn straight in? No, he's okay. Oh, but he's gone too far. He's blocked himself out in the 6. Overcooked it. And, well, he's going for the jump. And he's rushing it. He's desperate to play that jump shot there. He did not take his time. And he's gifted Bill the opportunity to go to 4-1. But it's going to be an up and down the table job here. Up for the 7. Back down for the 8. Back up for the 9. So this 9 ball will take him to 4-1. Just one away. Well, something went into the right middle pocket. It was the 6 ball. And well, Bill's got a shot in the 1. Question is what does he do to go on this 2 ball? Now the 2 ball goes between the 7 and the 9. And he's got on it. And this could be game and match here if he can get good onto the 3 ball once he pots this 2. Oh dear. Well, once again the mistake has been made. Now, what does Xavier do? This is a very thin cut in the 2. He's going for the bank and it ain't getting there. So this is, well, dare I say it again, an excellent opportunity this time for Bill to run the table and seal the match. And that's pretty good. Found a gap there. He's not hampered by the 7, and a tiny roll through on this 4 is all he needs. He needs to get to the other side of the 5, and that will do it, because that now means it's a lot easier to get on the 7. Well, Bill could come round for the the 8 ball into the same pocket, and that's what he's done. So this 8 and 9 will seal the match. Now Xavier had his chances, but as I say, he just needs to get that better touch. Give him more confidence in playing certain shots. But that only comes through practice. So Bill wins the match by 5 racks to 1. Right, that's the first result that's come through. We've got Mr. Bill's going to be playing Potman next, and the Dirties and It's Me match. Dirties is up 3 racks to 1 in that match. Well, we'll watch Mr. Bill playing Potman in a second or 2. That's what we'll do. Well, both players are in the room and they're just about to lag off. We timed that nicely. And Potman has won the lag and he gets to break. Now Potman, very similar problems to what Xavier showed in that last match. When I say problems, the main problem is just controlling that cue ball better. And things like that, you know, straightforward one ball there, should never be missing that. But those type of things, when you've got chances like that, you've got to be taking them. And it's just about tightening up your control and concentration, because that's all part of it. I think he was thinking about how he was getting onto that 2-ball. And as it is, it's an early chance for Bill. So now Bill's out of line, and the bank isn't on in either corner pockets at the top end of the table, because the 7's blocking it and the 9's blocking it. And now he's looking to get safe here, trying to get that cue ball as far up the table as possible. And that's pretty good, because Potman's left with the same problem here. The 5 ball's tight in the rail, and he's going to have to play a very good shot to keep this 5 ball safe. And that's not a bad effort either. Well, now Bill's played the bank up and down the table. Now, does Potman get greedy here? Because he could try the cut on the 5 onto the 7 to play the combo. But he's decided just to try and keep it safe. Well, Bill's picked out something there. Got himself hooked in the 6 though. I'm going to have to dig out the jump stick again. And another, it makes it look simple. It's not easy to play those jump shots, but especially at that distance, really quite close. And he might have to jump again. Yep, he's going to have to get the stick out again. Can't see the 8. And that's another good one. Just a little cut back on the 9. Shouldn't be any problem. That gives Bill the first rack. Well, what went down there? The 2 ball and the 7 ball have gone. He's on the 1. And the 3 ball is next to the 9 there. I think he was trying to get round behind that 3, because it wasn't easy to have a shot in the 3. Now again, Potman has an easy safety here. He can tuck Bill up behind that 8 ball. He's just got to hit it with enough pace to get the 1 to the rail. And he's overhit it. You see, that's the problem. The problem is being able to be confidently play those type of shots where you can get the right pace in the shot, and he overhit it. These are the type of things that are letting the lower rated players down, their overall control. And if they can just master that a bit better, it will make them far better players. That's why players like Bill and the rest of them are running out racks, because they'll get better control over what they're doing. Simple as that. Well, now can Popman see enough of that 3 to bank it, because it looks a good bank. Let's have a look. Yes, he can. It's a very good bank, that 3 ball. Either directly into the corner pocket or a double bank. But he's played it. And he's now got a shot in the 4. Now this really should be a run out. There's no excuse whatsoever not to run this table. I mean, there's nothing to do other than roll the 4 ball in and leave an angle on the 5. And now he's gone a bit straight. Now he just needs to draw back off this 5. He doesn't need to try anything ambitious here. Just a little draw off the 5 ball and he's still got an easy enough pot in the 6. You see, he's hit that far too hard and trying to do far too much with the cue ball. Didn't need to do that. This is where you have to assess the situation and just do what's needed and not try and be over ambitious. And he's tried to spin that cue ball away up the table for some reason, unbeknownst to me. He didn't need to. He just needed to draw that cue ball back to about there off that shot. And he's, again, as we saw in the first match, Popman has just blown his chance there, and it's a rack that he should have ran out. Making it easy for Mr. Bill, not putting him under any pressure. And as it is, Mr. Bill's just doing what is expected of him, just coming to the table, taking what's left and running away with the rack. And it's now 2-0. And Popman can only blame himself there for that one. So we're into rack number 3. And Bill has come up dry. Popman's got the wrong angle in this 1 ball. He's got the pot, but the cue ball's running down the table towards us as we look at this. And the 5 ball is in an awkward position near the 9 ball at the top end. So he's got entirely the wrong angle. So he's having to play it with inside English just to stop the cue ball running away. Now, that 2 ball, well, let's be honest, it doesn't cut. It's too tight to even try it, but he could try the billiard onto the 9, and he's played it well. Well controlled shot. It was a good setup there for the billiard onto the 9, and it gets Popman into the match. And that's the sort of little break that you need, just to get a quick rack done and dusted and get your name on the board. And Popman has broke off. The 4 ball has gone down. Now he's got no easy shot in the 1. Again, you've got to decide what you're... In fact, tell a lie, he scratched, didn't he? His ball in hand. So that's ended up a disaster in the break. I didn't even notice the cue ball going in. I noticed the 4 going in, but never saw the cue ball. So Mr. Bill on the 2 ball. Now again, he might be the wrong side of this 2, and he is. He's actually a bit straight, so he's just had to squeeze it in. He hasn't gone beyond the point, has he? No, he's okay. He can see the 3. Just enough room to get to the 3 ball. Well, what does he do now? Well, he's in no man's land. Is he going for the pot past the 9. That's well played because that was difficult to read. So, Mr. Bill, 3 racks to 1 up. And the 6 ball has gone down. Well, this is a long jump if he's going to try that over the 2 ball, or over the edge of the 2 ball anyway. But that's what he's going to be doing. Needs a bit of luck. Hasn't got it. But out with the jump stick again. Well, this time he's escaped the problem, but has he got that 2 ball safe? No, there's enough room to get that 2 past the 3. Well, Potman, I think he's just held himself enough to still cut this 3 ball in. He could play the bank, but he really needs to get this. He needs to get a few of these balls together and try and keep himself in the match. And he's hit that far too hard and he's hung up the 3. And there's the result come in from the other match. Dirties against It's Me. Dirties wins by 5 racks to 2. And well, is Potman going to get a chance in this match? Few and far between. And what chance he has had, he's blown it. Well, simple enough 8 ball. Just a little roll through and top the 9 along the rail for 4 racks to 1. So here we go into rack number 6. Mr. Bill breaking off. And it's come up dry. And another chance for Potman. But I think it's only going to be a chance for a safety. Oh no, he can get the 1 past the 4. I thought that was too tight, but he can get it past it. And doesn't need to hit it in too hard. And he's hung up the 1 ball. So immediately Bill comes back to the table and the balls are all sitting pretty good, and Popman might have just played his last shot in the tournament. Well, now he's out of line. Now, is he going to play the combo onto that 5 ball? That's maybe what he's looking at. He's got the cut on the 3 and send it up in that direction. Try and nudge the 5 in. That's what he's gone for and almost got it. But the 3 ball has gone safe. And I don't think there's any option here for Pot. I don't know whether Popman could try and spin the cue ball towards the 5 and try and nudge it in. That's what he's tried. Well, I presume he tried that, but he's also got the bank. Well, he's now going to get rid of the 5 because it's an easy enough roll the 4 onto the 5, but he has to do it gentle. He doesn't want this 4 ball to run away. The other problem is getting on the 6. Now he's got the angle where he can make the angle to bring the cue ball up this direction. If he falls short, he can still cut the 6 in. But if he goes too far, he needs to get beyond the 7, and I don't think he's getting there, is he? Let's have a look. No, he's okay. He can still make the cut. Now he's just got to get the pace right to leave himself a shot in the 7. Don't know whether he can avoid that 8 ball, though he might be able to use the 8 ball to hold for the 7. And he just come out behind it. Well, surely Popman is going to run this out. He can run through off the 8 and go around the corner and leave himself the cut down the right hand rail for the 9. It doesn't need to be over elaborate here. Go off the rail. This should be his second rack. Oh, that's gone in. So, trailing by 4 racks to 2. Popman breaking off in rack number 7. Well, there's a mistake. The mistake has been made by Bill. And once again, these balls are all wide open for Popman. And the first obstacle is getting on the 2. And he's overcooked it. He's got into it too much. And he's left himself no shot. But now he's got to get this hidden. He's got to get distance between the 2 of them and get this safe. Now he can spin up behind the 6 and run up into that top right hand corner off the 2. He can do that. Well, he's gone the other way, but he could have gone that way and down sort of here to keep distance. He would have sent the 2 ball back this way. As it is, he's got no cover in the 2, and Mr. Bill had an easy enough hit on the 2-ball. Well, here's another chance for Potman. I think he can see enough of the 3 to get the potting angle. Now he's immediately got himself out of line again. A difficult cut in the 4 into the right middle. But he has to play it with the right pace to get the cue ball off the side rail, end rail, and over here to have a shot in the 5. That's what he's looking to do. Has to go around there, and over here. And he's missed the 4. Now, he's going to be in trouble here in a second or two, I think, if Bill can just tuck the 4 past the 9. It looks that he's not got a great angle. He's managed to just do it. So now Potman is just relying on luck here. It's easy enough to kick at the 4, but he just has to get lucky. And he's kicked the 4 in. And how's his luck now? Well, he's got a shot in the 5, and this 5 looks a good bank from where I'm looking. Onto the 5 and onto there and down into that corner pocket. It looks good from here. And he's right on the line, and it needs to keep rolling the cue ball. Well, this is nasty. It's nasty either way. If he tries to drop it into the right middle pocket, it's extremely tight. He's got to go for the cut up into the corner, surely. He's got to go that way. Very tight into the middle. Well, he's played it well. I'll give him his dues there. Got that, very nice. Now, can he string these last 3 balls together? Well, he's got the first one. Now, how's that angle in the 8? He needs to watch the scratch. He has to avoid that. Well, now he's got a straight choice. He can go the direct pot, or he can go for the bank again. And he's gone for the bank, and this time he's pulled out another one. And he's got it back to 4-3. Well, there's a few balls going in. And the cue ball was one of them again. Well, this time it's not looking good for Potman. Mr. Bill ball in hand, and he's got a 1-9 combo for the match. And in goes the 9. And that's what happens when you make mistakes. Mr. Bill wins the match by 5 racks to 3. And that's got to hurt. So the final is going to be between Mr. Bill and Dirties. And again, we're talking about very similar level players here that Mr. Bill has played. Xavier, Potman and Dirties. Dirties has got his Similar problems as just getting control of that cue ball. And I think the final's a race to 5 as well, is it? Yeah, just race to 5 and all rounds by the look of it. So the room is up, and Dirties is already in the room. And Mr. Bill has joined, and he should be lagging off. And Dirties has won the lag. Yeah, again, a similar level player, 1923 his rating. And 3 balls have gone in on the break, and this is looking very nice. It'll look even nicer if we can pot this 3 and get the cue ball out onto the 4. Well, Dirties is still in control here. Now, can he do a little soft draw and get himself onto that 7 ball? Oh, oh dear. Well, I think he's tried to do something with English there, and he's blown it. And he's left Bill hooked behind the 7. And Bill, as we've seen, will jump over that easy enough. Question is whether he can pot the 6. Well, that's a fine example there of an easy shot that Dirties had, but he's trying to do too much with the cue ball. And Bill has duly obliged. He's potted the 6. And we're seeing these players throwing away chances, good chances, from basically from inconsistency, just stringing the balls together and keeping control of that cue ball. And that's where they're losing it. Let me just check some. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Oh, all right. I'm seeing something now. Now I see Potman's chat up in the screen. Now anybody else going to type something? If anybody's still watching. Polament was there on the stream a few minutes ago. I didn't even notice because I hadn't seen anything coming up in the chat. I think there's something inconsistent about this the Restream chat for me, because it's either appearing on my screen as I'm looking at the stream or it's not. It was there 2 seconds ago. Now there's something there. I see Richard typing stuff on now that is coming through from YouTube. I can see that on the screen. That's working. It either works or it doesn't work. But I should, if anybody's watching on Twitch, I should be seeing stuff coming through from Twitch as well. I've been spending hours trying to get this to work. I've had it working previously and then it just seemed to all go haywire. The stream quality, it's telling me that on YouTube that it's amber. But having said that, looking at both streams, they're running perfectly okay to me. It's just the chat that's acting up. Anyway, this is the final of a race to 5 9 ball. It's a non-handicap tournament. There's only about 4 or 5 players in it. Bill, the strong favourite to win it, of course, as his rating would suggest. And well, we saw in that first rack, Dirties was on a little roll and then overdid it on a 6 ball and blew his chance. And what's Bill done here? Well, he's certainly potted the 7, but he's going to be hard pushed to pot this 8. This is not a great bank, this 8 ball, which is why he's just rolled up to it dead weight. And that was well played. Dirty's played the kick bank on the 8 ball. Now can he roll this 9 in, square the match up? And the answer to that is no. He's blown it again. 2 good chances to get racks on the board. And unfortunately, they have both gone askew. And it's 2-0 to Mr. Bill. Well, if ever any of these 3 guys want to know why they aren't winning as many racks as they should, they only need to look at this video and see where they're going wrong. It's just an inconsistency that's right throughout a lot of the players that are levelled around 1900, where they haven't got that mouse dialed in properly and they're not been able to play certain shots with confidence. And if they'd only listen to me and get that sorted out, and I keep telling them the easiest way to do it is to go into a room and just try lagging up and down the table, or in snooker just try the break off and get that cue ball down to the bottom cushion in bulk. If you keep doing that and keep practicing that and keep tweaking the sensitivity in your mouse, you will get it dialed in. But I don't think enough players actually spend anywhere near enough time messing about with that to get it set where they're a lot more comfortable playing certain shots, because it's shown in their game that they aren't. It is making a hell of a difference where they're not being able to string enough balls to win a rack. When they're given a great opportunity to do so, they can't do it. So they have to be asking themselves why. And why is it that somebody like Bill, who's got an open table here, is pretty much odds on, provided he doesn't get the cue ball out line. Now the problem ball is the 5 ball. That's where the problem lies. So he can pot the 4, and the only lifeline that Dirties has got in this rack is that 5 ball. And if Bill can pot this 4 and have a sight on the 5, well, that's not where he wanted the shot from. So there might be a lifeline here. Bill could play the reverse bank on the 5. He could even try and thin cut that into the corner. And he's just got there. And this is a little soft draw off the 7. The angle he's got, he can take the cue ball to about there and pot the 8. fact, he just rolled it in. He's tried to roll it in. He did, even Bill. Maybe he had too much angle, because obviously I didn't look at the angle that he had, but it looked like he could actually just drag off it in a little stun. But maybe he had too much and he tried to just push it in. So Dirties has got another chance. And here's again that type of shot there, where he's overcooked it and got himself immediately out of line. And he's having to bank this 8-ball. It looks a good bank, by the way. It looks good. This could be a possible double bank on either that bottom left or top left corner pocket. Oh, he's overdone it. So, once again, the chance has gone. And I don't think Bill will be making any more mistakes here. And so it's now 3-0 to Mr. Bill. Now, I don't know if anybody's still watching this or anybody has still typed anything else in the chat, but I'm not seeing anything else coming up on the screen. Now, when I say about the screen, I'm not talking about what's actually appearing on the chat in YouTube or Twitch. I'm talking about what's feeding through to my monitor, because I've got the chat where it should be. There it is now. I'm seeing it there. Yeah, that's good. That tells me it's still working. Now, I hope you're listening to what I'm saying, Richard, Xavier, that these 3 matches that I've watched where you guys played Mr. Bill, the biggest problem that you've all got, and it stands out like a mile to me, is the fact that you haven't got that mouse dialed in. You need to get more confidence with your controller shots. That's the biggest drawback that all 3 of you guys have got. And that's what's letting you down. That's why you're struggling to get control and have confidence to play those shots. Once you get that, and it doesn't take an awful lot of work to do it, once you get that, it makes you a far better player. You need to all spend time messing about. Well, here's a chance. Here's a lifeline for Dirties. Now, a shot like this here, he just needs to tuck the 6 in and make sure he's got the right angle in the 8. Now, he's finished dead straight. Now, is he confident enough just to play a soft roll through to get to about there so he's got the shot in the 9? Let's have a look. And that's not bad. That's pretty damn perfect. So this time Dirties is taking his chance. Yeah, what we're saying is most of the guys round about 1900, all they need to do is work on that cue ball control and pace. That's what most players need to do, and master that a bit more. And it gives you far more confidence when you have certain shots that you know you have to play. A little draw shot. A little draw shot ends up. Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, there's no point in talking to somebody else about their mouse settings, because every PC is different. And it doesn't matter what they tell you, what their settings are at. It makes no difference. You have to find your own settings. And you have to, I mean, the simplest way of testing how confident you are with your mouse is to go into a room and all you do is play lag shots. That's all you do. Just lag the ball to the top rail and try and get it back to the kitchen rail and get it as close as you can. And the more you do that, and the more accurate you become doing that, the better you'll be. Well, you see, the thing is, there aren't specific settings for Virtual Pool 4. I mean, I've got a multitude of mice that I use, but if I look at my mouse settings on screen right now, I can disconnect the mouse that I've got here that I'm using for this stream and plug in my other mouse, and I keep the settings exactly the same. If I go to the mouse, I've got my shooting setting away down at 11. I've got my rotation at 10 and my rotate slew at 10. And in my advanced settings, I've got it on velocity average. The accumulated time and the fit time are all set automatically by the computer, by Virtual Pool 4, when you do the setup for your mouse. When you do the initial setup. But all of these tweaks here, I adjust them up and down. But I just know that the two mice that I'm currently using, the shooting setting is down at 11. The mouse that I'm using, I generally use it to play snooker. The other mouse that I'm not currently using, I use that to play 9-ball, because it reacts differently to the other mouse that I'm using, even on the same settings. No two mice are the same, because the DPI settings are different. That's a perfect example there of the setting being exactly the same in the computer, but when I plug in two different mice on those settings, they both react entirely differently. The mouse that I'm currently using goes through quicker than my other mouse, even on the sensitivity set at 11. So you have to work at it. You definitely have to work at it. It's about spending time messing about with your mouse and trying certain shots to find a length of shot that you're comfortable with, and you just, it's a sort of, it becomes instinctive to play certain shots, but it only happens through practice. Anyway, this has really just been a test stream to see if we can get this Restream chat working. It seems to be working okay. The two streams are working on YouTube and Twitch. We've got Dirties at the table trailing 3-1 in this race to 5 no handicap final. He's just won his second rack. He's trailing by 1. And he's broke off in rack number 6. A couple of balls have gone. The 3-ball and the 8-ball have gone. And look at this now. Let's look at this table. This table is perfect. Can he run the table? So now the initial problem here is he's straight on a 2 and he's got to get on the 4. So how do you keep it simple? Well, you keep it simple by just drawing back off the 2 to about there, and you can see he's overcooked that by a mile. Far too much bottom on the cue ball, and that's how you get yourself out of line. You know, if you look at the shot, that's how Dirties has got himself out of shape, when all he had to do was just enough draw. And to get that draw where you're not firing the cue ball away up the table, you have to just hit that. You have to hit the cue ball just below the equator, but hit that shot with enough pace to get the draw to react, so it doesn't fire you up the table. So he had far too much bottom on it and far too much pace. You want to just get to about there. And that's why Dirty's chance is gone. That was a gilt-edged chance again. But another prime example of how you guys lose it. How you lose racks. How you can't win racks when you're given a simple opportunity to win one. It's just it's a criticism that I've got, simply because there's an easy fix for it. And it's whether you guys want to work at it and improve your game. If you don't spend time, you'll end up still being a 1900 player, and you won't beat these guys at 2200 because you can't take your chances often enough when you get them, and that's the difference. See, Bill's left himself an awkward cut in the 7 here. This isn't a dead set. And is that getting there? Yes, it is, but he's scratching. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, that's lucky. That looked like an odds-on scratch. So this for 4-2. I just wish that Popman and Dirties would both look at this stream and see where they're going wrong. Because it's all very well me saying, you know, that's all he has to do with a certain shot, and then you see them playing entirely the wrong shot, or they're playing it far too heavy because they don't have that control. Control is the biggest thing that's letting them down. It always is. And when you have that control, you have consistency. Control, consistency, and that gives you racks, that gives you runouts. Well, looking at this table here, I'm expecting Bill to run out if he could actually have potted that 1. And now Dirties has got a shot on the 1. Now, the shot I would play on this 2, if the cue ball's here, I'm playing this 2 ball. You see he's kind of chickened out there slightly in that one. But you have to play this very gentle. If you're playing it plain ball, it has to be very gentle. The cue ball's going that way, but now he's deciding to hit and hope. That's exactly what that is. A hit and hope shot. And would you believe it, he's got a shot on the 3. But you can't rely on hit and hope. You only ever rely on hit and hope in desperation, when you've got absolutely no chance of getting on a ball other than just hitting and hoping. But each time you do it, you find yourself usually getting more and more out of line. Like that. So now he's got an awkward cut across the right corner with a strong likelihood of scratching off this 5. Oh, he's banked it up the table. Well, now can he pot the 8 and get himself on the 9? Looks simple enough. Now, I notice that there's nothing appearing on my chat again. I can see it coming up on YouTube, but there's nothing coming up my screen. Yes, it can be watched. It's on. It'll be on YouTube once it's processed, once the stream's finished, which is not going to be that far away, because this is the final match anyway. I mean, I sound like a broken record when I'm watching a lot of these guys playing, because they keep doing the same things all the time. They keep over-hitting the ball. They keep hitting it with far too much draw, and the control is not there. It is on the more experienced players, because they've worked at it. I mean, it's the same in real life as well. If you don't have the technique in real life where you're able to deliver the cue through in a consistent level and consistent line, If you can't do that in real life, or you don't spend enough time and attention on that part of your game, then you'll find it difficult to pot balls. Virtual Pool 4 is a lot easier for the simple reason it's a computer game, but in real life, if you don't pay attention to how the cue's going through and it's squirting all over the place, it stands to reason that's why you're missing a lot of shots. So we're tied up at 4 racks all. It's a final rack decider. Goodness knows what happened in that last rack because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, this Restream chat thing is very, very inconsistent. There's nothing coming up my screen at all, and it should be. I see the other thing, or the other example as well is Bill's playing these 3 matches here, but he's got to the stage where he's under no pressure, and that's why even Bill's not even taking time for his shots, because he's not got that pressure on him where he's getting punished for his mistakes. Oh, well, that was so close. Well, this is dead straight, and Bill's going to have to try and just clip the 5 to avoid following it in. That's about all he could do. Now he's the wrong side of the 6. Well, this is going to be a good shot to have a shot in the 7. And he's scratched. So here's Dirty's chance to win the match. 3 balls to pot. And again, to simplify things, you roll the 7 in, you roll the 8 in, and you roll the 9 into the middle. That's all you do here. And you look at what he's doing with the cue ball. He's having the cue ball run away up the table for absolutely no reason. You keep it simple. Roll the 7, roll the 8, and roll the 9. There's the match won. Now he's playing something from distance where he could go offline. And that's exactly what he's done, and he's scratched. Now, show him that, for goodness sake. Somebody give him the link to show where he's made a complete balls of it when he's had the rack won and in the match won. And I see that far too many times by these type of players. But 1900 level players are 1900 for a reason, because they keep doing things like that. And that's where it's frustrating, when you think, well, why can't a player see and play the simple shot? You roll that 7 in, and you roll the 8 in, and you roll the 9 into the middle, and that's how he ended up throwing it away, by banging the thing in and sending the cue ball away up the table. Anyway, that's the test stream over. I'm not happy with that Restream chat. It's inconsistent. I can see chat coming up on YouTube, but it's not appearing on my screen like it should do. So anyway, guys, that will do for this test. We will call it quits there, and hopefully a couple of those guys maybe go and watch the stream and see the mistakes they're making time and time again, and maybe learn something from it, I would hope. And with that, we will see you again soon, and thanks for watching.